Twit-twoo, twit-twoo. Hello, I'm Omar the Owl. No, not really. It's me. I'm Emma Martin, and I'm an artist, and I'd like you to help with this project, and it's celebrating the work of this man, John Lyon. He's a fantastic artist who worked in Manchester for over 30 years, and there's a fabulous exhibition about him at the Whitworth Art Gallery at the moment. And when I went to the exhibition, I noticed something about John's work. In a lot of his paintings, he has owls. Owls seem to be everywhere. Owls have a special meaning to John. They mean two things to him. One part is about something scary. They're called a jumbie bird in Trinidad and Tobago, where he comes from. And jumbies are ghosts. There's lots of stories about how they bring bad luck and how they're kind of a link between the land of the living and the land of the dead. So something a bit scary. But to John, owls are also something very positive, something hopeful. They bring ideas, they're inspiring, they bring wisdom. So I got inspired by this idea that an owl could mean two things, and I've come up with something I want us to make to celebrate John's work. I want us to make these little owls which have on one side everyone's hopes and one side everyone's fears, and that way we're having that idea that the owls could mean two things at once. Now here's a fun fact for you. Did you know that when you have lots of owls together, they're not called a group of owls, they're called a parliament of owls? And I'd like us to make a parliament of these little artwork owls to fill up the gallery as much as we can to celebrate John's work. And here's how.
We just need to start off with a piece of cardboard. It can be any colour, doesn't matter what colour you have at all. You'll need a pencil. I'm going to use a pen to show my drawings so you can see them easily. And you'll need scissors, and we're ready to go. Now we're just going to start by folding our piece of card in half, like we're making a card for somebody. You need to give it a nice press down so it's got a good crease. Now you're going to fold in the outer piece to that crease. So just fold one over and give it a good press. So there we go, flappy flap. Fold over again the other side into that crease. And so now we have our piece of card split into four, and it makes this shape. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put our owl head in the middle. So if we mark the middle there, when we fold up our card, we'll know which bit is the middle. Can you see that? That will help us not make a mistake later. So we're going to take our pencil, but I'm going to use a pen to show you, and we start drawing the head of an owl. Now if you look at this owl, he has these wonderful tufty feathers at the top of his head, and it's a bit similar to the way John's done his owl here. But if we look at this owl, he's got a nice smooth head, and you could do the same with your owl. It's entirely up to you how you want to do it. So I'm drawing half an owl's face here. Can you see I've done the top of the head, that little tufty bit, one eye and half a beak. We really want to use all of the cardboard, so make sure that you do the top of the head at the top of the page. And now I've taken the shoulder to the crease where we've got the fold, and I'm following up and drawing the top of my wing. And can you see again, I'm really using all of the space of the cardboard right to the top of my page and right down to the bottom. And you can make it feathery, or you can make it zigzaggy, you can make it smooth, however you want. Now I'm going back up a little way, and then I'm drawing back into the body of the owl. Can you see that's part of the owl section, the body part? And then I'm adding some nice claws, or actually called talons on owls. So nice spiky claws and the bottom of its body there. So I've got its head and its wing. Okay? So when we open it up, we can see we've got half an owl right from that middle piece there. Now this makes it really nice and simple when we cut it up. We fold it back in half again, and we get our scissors and we begin to cut around. Now it's really important that our piece of card is nicely folded when we do this, and I'm just going to show you here that we start cutting. Now a really good tip with the scissors is to just keep them pointed in one direction. You move the cardboard and change direction of the cardboard, not the direction of the scissors. Can you see I'm still pointing those upright? And I'm turning the card and keeping my scissors in the same position. This means I can get a much neater cut. I'm resting my hand on the table and I'm keeping my scissors facing in the same direction. Makes it much neater, and then you can see how it's going to be cutting out the same thing on the other side. It will be symmetrical. So let's just quickly cut this out. You don't need to watch me do all that. And there we have our owl cut out. What we can do if we want to is we could cut a bit at the beak. That's cute. So from our half owl, we now have a lovely whole owl. And what we can do is we can use a pen or a pencil to fill in all the other details. So I'm just adding the eye and following around the wings and getting in the shape of our owl on both sides. Now, I used pen so I could show you. You might want to use pencil, but you can draw over this in felt pen or crayons, anything you've got in the classroom. So now we're going to add a little bit more detail, a bit of decoration to our owl. The important thing to remember though is we're going to leave the tummy blank because that's where we're going to write in our hopes and fears so we can share our ideas with everybody seeing our owls. I've drawn in the eyes and the beak. And now I'm just going on to its lovely talons, its feet, putting those claws on there. And then I'm putting a few feathers on the wings. It doesn't have to be a lot of detail. It just depends how much time you have. The important thing is this tummy is blank because this is where we're going to write our hopes and our fears. So on one side of your owl, write in hope, or hopes if you want to write more than one, and fears on the other. So I'm just going to write in one hope for now. You might want to do lots. I'm going to write something about the project. So my hope is that everyone enjoys making owls and joining in the project. Your hope can be anything. It could be somewhere you want to go in the world, something you'd like to do. Maybe it's a job in the future. Maybe it's just something as simple as, I hope I have chips for tea. Now, I have a very odd fear. I'm actually afraid of buttons. They terrify me. It's a weird phobia, I know. Some people are scared of spiders. Some people are scared of heights. Whatever you're worried about or scared about, you put it in here. So it could be a fear that's quite silly, like mine seems silly, but it's a real fear. So anything you're worried about, anything you're scared about, that goes in here. When you finish writing in your fear, it's time to do a little bit of folding. We've already got our big folds for the owl shape, but we're just going to do some little folds to help it stand up. The first thing we're going to do is just fold in our talons towards us. That helps to make a flatter base. And then if we just bend our wings slightly going backwards, can you see that at the bottom? That's going to give us a bit more stability for our owl to stand up. And there's our little owl all finished, expressing our hopes and fears. Fabulous stuff. Now, these are going to go on display with hundreds of other little owls made by young people in other schools. So you need to write your name on the back and your school name so that you can find your owl if you want to come and see the exhibition. Don't write the word school in here like I did. You write your actual school. And there we go. I'm going to be coming to pick up all of your owls on the 15th of July, ready to go here at the Whitworth Art Gallery. Where they'll go on display on Saturday the 20th of July in a lovely exhibition we will call our Parliament of Owls. You and your families can come and see the lovely artwork we've been creating, and there'll be lots of other lovely fun things to do. I'll be there on the day, so you can come and say hi. You'll recognise me because I'll be wearing my silly hat. Thank you for making us a little owl and sharing your hopes and fears with us. Time for me to fly off. Bye!